Hello there, it's Karen here from Crafty Little Miss K, and in response to a couple of requests I had to show how I made the little table favours that I used for my onstage swaps. Onstage happened last month. It's a Stampin' Up convention, especially for demonstrators. Anyway, so these are the little, based on the little swaps I made. Obviously I've handed all those out now. Unfortunately, I did have it all filmed and ready to go, but for some reason when I had my cold and I wasn't thinking straight, I deleted it off my phone. So here I am making them again, but what I've done is I've done a couple of different ones using the same measurements almost. It depends on how tall you want them. So this one, which is what I'm going to recreate today for you in this video, measures 4.5 by 3.5, the paper to start off with. This one measures 4.5 by 5, and this one measures 4.5 by 6. So as you can see, you get quite a difference in size, and they all look slightly different as well. This one I haven't rounded off the corners because I made it up before I decided I want to do that. So when I did the on-stage ones, I had the corners rounded like that one here. But on this one, because I followed the dimensions given by the Pepper Pixie, who has got a YouTube channel, she used the scallop tag topper punch, which I thought was brilliant. So I'm actually going to use that today. But you can, they're self-closing, so you don't need anything really to close them. So this one is so tiny, it only fits tiny little mini tic tacs in there. This one's got a, and this one have got the little mini love hearts. Okay, but yeah, like I said, they're all self-closing. They're all just sort of, if you stand there, I mean that one's slightly gaping a bit, but that might be something to do with the way I folded it. Yeah, so there we go. So I'm going to make this one, but in different paper. I'm using this paper here, which is beautiful. It's got lovely, beautiful copper foiling on it, and it's from the Joyous Noel paper pack, which I've got here, or what's left of it here, and they've all got copper foiling on them. So absolutely beautiful they are as well. I think they're probably getting to the end of their stocks now, if not sold out already, but yes, it's lovely, and I'm glad I've got a few bits left because I'll probably make some more of these little table favours up over Christmas for my family. So let's get started, shall we? So like I said, I've got a piece of paper here, and it measures 4.5 by 3.5. I haven't got the centimetres to hand, but I'll put them on my blog so that if you want to follow along in centimetres, you can. So basically, let's just get my little notes out because I've made a list of measurements that I needed. So what you need is to have it on the 4.5 inch side, and that would be whether you made the tall one or the short one. So 4.5 inch side, you just score it at 2 and at 4. If you're using directional paper, which this isn't, so if it's got a pattern that goes sort of like that, then what you need to do is make sure it's on the 4.5 side. So your pattern would go this way, not that way. So that's your pattern would go that way. So yeah, so 2 and 4. Turn it round and score again at 1 and 2.5. Basically what you want to do, this is where you would lengthen it, so this would be like the length here. So I've got 3.5, you could have 5, 6, however many you want, so it goes this way. And then what you need to do is just make sure these score lines are at 1 inch from each end. So if it was an odd number that you'd done, an odd measurement that you'd done, you do the 1, turn it round, do the 1 again. All right, and then just before I finish, come round so you've got the narrow piece here with the score line here, and you just score up to that first score line here at 1.5 and at 3.5, and that's going to be your base. All right, keep hold of your scoring your embossing tool because you're going to need it. And then what we need to do is I'm just going to get a piece of paper just to help to cushion my work here. And then so you've got your score lines down here, which are your base, and basically that's like a little 1 inch square there. So what we want to do is put some diagonal lines in now. So you put your scoring tool where you ended that line coming up at the 1.5 out to where the score lines crisscross here, and then just do a score line diagonally, come round to where they cross here and do a diagonal line, and then do the same in this area here. So up there, the little crisscrosses here, so line up here to the edge where the score line comes to the edge of the paper, and do a score line, and that's all you need that for. And then you'll need to get your bone folder out or whatever you use, and just press out all those score lines that are horizontal and vertical. Don't do the diagonals at this stage. Like that, and then like that. Okay, that's slightly crooked actually. Let me just redo that one. That's better. Okay, and then to get, so you can actually get to these diagonals, if you just snip up these 4 or these 3 score lines down here, and the one that's in the middle up here, just down to the bits that go across, and then where this narrow piece is here, we're just going to cut the outer 2 bits away. So wedge in there, and then wedge in there, and then cut this one away. No, not quite. That's it. And then what you'll end up with is a piece of paper that looks like this with a little flap here. These are the little flaps that we're going to do at the bottom, and that's going to be the top bit. Okay, so now we can go back to those score lines we put in diagonally and just press all those out as well. Like that. Okay, and then just going to use a bit of wet glue. You can use tear and tape if you want, or if you've got some other kind of adhesive that sticks well. I wouldn't use snail or tape runners because they're not very strong for holding bags and boxes and things like that together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that over there, fold that in half, just press that out, and then where it folded, it's already closing. Let's see, it's already taking shape there. So where you did that join, where the bit folded over and under, that's going to be the front. All right. So before we go any further though, I'm just going to fix this bit up here. So I'm just going to get my tag topper punch. I put it nearby so I wouldn't lose it, and I've lost it. Oh my gosh, where is it? Bear with me. You'll never believe this. I put it back where it belongs. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay, so while everything's still flat, pop it all the way in, and then just punch that out, and then you've got a nice little fancy top bit there. Okay, I'm putting it back where it belongs, up on the shelf. Okay, let's get rid of these little bits here. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is find where you joined it. So these 2 flaps, this is the front, so these 2 flaps are going to be folded down last. So just choose one and pop it down, and then glue the other flaps onto it like this. Stay down. You'll probably find, like it's done there, it'll pop inwards, but that's okay because we're going to reach inside in a minute and just make sure it all sticks to it. So just pop it back up again like that. Okay, so just bring down all the 4 flaps like this, and then pop it down on your work table. Use your bone folder, or I don't think the tombow will go in there. It might go in that side. Yeah, it goes in that side, but I would use the blunt end of your bone folder, and just make sure all that glue is pressed down. And then just have a quick look. Most of those, pretty much square. There's a tiny little bit I'm just going to shave off here. It's so minute, as you can see. It's not really worth it, but that's better. All right, so that's sitting very nicely. Where are my, these are my Tic Tacs. So let's pop them inside. It's a nice little thing to have like for after dinner. So that's that bit. And then to make the tag, the little label on the front, I have got my copper foil sheet, brand new. I'm going to punch into this, and I want my 1 3/4 inch circle. Oh, doesn't this break your heart when you break into something really pretty for the first time? Okay, there we go. And then I've got a piece of very vanilla card because I thought white might be a bit stark with the copper. And the stamps I'm using, which I've used before, are these 2, and they come from the Seasonal Chums. The wording, the being your friend is a real treat, comes from here, and it's this one up here. And then Snow is Glistening, which is now gone. It was only available during November. But if you've got any kind of snowflake or little tiny holly leaves or whatever, it's really just to add a bit of interest around the sides, around the edges of the circle, because it might be a bit bland on its own. If you like, you know, some people say less is more, so if you like it to be plain, then that's great as well. So I'm going to be using Early Espresso because I don't want to use black. Let's move that out of the way. I bet it's going to form the floor wherever I move it to. That's it, over there. Okay, and then I was going to ink this up. Hello, that looks like that's dried out. Might be using a different one. Let me just get that piece of paper back. Oh, that's dried out. Okay, I'm not using Early Espresso to get that re-inked. I am going to use then Soft Suede. Okay, because the idea is I want to keep it like the brownie type of look. This one has been re-inked, so I know it's good. That's it. And then just stamp. There we go. So let's get that closed because that was re-inked recently and I don't want that going everywhere. And I'll just clean as I go, that way I know the stamps are clean. My good old chamois. That's it, beautiful. And then next thing I'm going to do is punch, and then I'll do the snowflakes afterwards. So just punch that out. There we go. And snowflakes, and that bit of paper again, just to lean on. And this one is Pool Party. You could use anything that's pale blue, like balmy blue. Okay, and I'm just going to go around the edges, just off, just to create a little bit of snowflake on there. Like I said, just to add a bit of interest. All the way around. That's it. That's that, and then glue them together. Such a murky day. I'll have to put my light on, and it's 1:30 nearly. It's crazy. There we go. Just press that down so it doesn't slide about on the copper foiling there. And then making sure that I keep it upright, just twist it over. And then a couple of dimensionals down the middle. Okay. Oops. Bring my little bag back. And there we go. How pretty is that? So let's move everything out of the way. So that's the little box made. So it's nice and simple, nice and quick, and like I said, you can make them in different sizes. Yeah, so I hope you like that, and I hope you have a go. Let me know if you do and how you get on with it. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I hope it doesn't rain on you like it is here. Bye for now. Hi again, just as a little add-on at the end of the video, I forgot to put a ribbon on my little bag, so I'm going to be using this beautiful copper, let's see, what is it called? It's called Merry Merlot and Copper ribbon, and it's gorgeous. And there's a little nick in there, so I'm just going to cut it from there. And so it matches the paper, but it's got the copper on the other side as well. I think we'll have the copper side on the outside. So yeah, almost forgot this bit. Finish it off properly. So there we are. And then I'll just cut those at an angle so they don't fray. That's better, isn't it? So there we go. And also, as an aside, as I was just realising I hadn't finished it off properly, the snowflakes, if you wanted the snowflakes around the edges and you didn't get a chance to get the Snow is Glistening one, there are snowflakes on Spirit of Snowmen as well, just here. So you could, if you wanted to, particularly wanted the snowflakes, and there's the other option as well. So there we go. So I am finished now, proper this time, I promise. And like I said, have a great day. Hope the sun shines on you, and do some crafting. Bye for now.